23 cars going to be going to battle at the Big E, house that Earl built, Eldora Speedway. Oh, here we go. This is going to get interesting, KR. Al Smith and Ryan Pace decided to go up top. Alex and Ray went second to the bottom, and there comes Al back down on the bottom.
I'd say that there are some people that are just getting a little too excited. Their thunderfoot's affecting their brake foot, and man, somebody forgot to connect the brain in there.
Forward wide into turn one there, KR. You're right, cars everywhere. Randy Hannigan looking strong down on the bottom, side by side into one with Billy Weiss. Two real-life racers here showing you, man, this is an awesome V-main, KR.
With a quick time of a 16.723.
We've seen Ryan fishing line, cast line. Ray Farlow's still committed to that bottom, and he's looking to take the lead here in 3 and 4. Bruce Jones sitting there just waiting to capitalize on a mistake by either one of those two. Here they come, coming off turn 4, side by side. It looks like maybe Fred Lampella, the legend, has went up top, and he's going to see if he can get that top coming in, KR.
He has, and he's not the only one that's running the high side. Many of them are working their way to that high side.
Earlier today in practice, the track slicked off a little bit.
Tell me about it, TJ. What happened out there, man?
Well, it was a pretty good race by me. I was a little worried after qualifying. Looked like I was definitely lacking some speed. So to find a little bit there in the heat race felt pretty good. Just didn't have anything for Vinny.
We seen KR mentioned, I missed it, but Billy Weiss got into the back of you down the main straightaway there. What was all that about?
Oh, I don't know.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to J-Skins Media Solutions Broadcasting, or as I affectionately call it, JMS. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. My name is KR Stolfus, and I am bringing you the season finale of the J-Skins Racing League Spike Chassis Sprint Car Series. And I tell you what, do we have a great race planned out for you guys tonight. We are here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, also known as IRP, Indianapolis Raceway Park. And qualifying is getting ready to roll out right now. But before they do, let us go through our sponsors, those who have made all of this possible. And let's not forget our series sponsor, Spike Chassis. Spike Chassis manufactures championship-winning open-wheel midget and non-wing wing sprint cars and components. Check out hashtag #WinWithSpike or find them on the web at www.spikechassis.com. Sam Pierce Chevrolet. The best Chevy deals are in the country. Visit sampiercechevrolet.com to check out their inventory. Hoosier Tire Midwest. Wow, didn't realize that was going on. Everything was building up on top of each other. I apologize. So there's the Sam Pierce logo. Oh man, Aaron Pierce, an avid sprint car driver, did the little Indy 500 at Anderson last year. Look forward to following him. If you don't know, look up Aaron Pierce, part of the Sam Pierce Chevrolet. Hoosier Tire Midwest. Hoosier Tire Midwest is the largest Hoosier racing tire distributor in the United States, serving the Midwest through warehouses in Indianapolis and Plymouth, Indiana, and Springfield, Illinois. From drag strips, road courses, and oval tracks, dirt and asphalt, sprint cars, midgets, late models, and even street cars, Hoosier Tire Midwest has winning tires for all your needs. Check them out on the web at www.racetires.com. Kenny's Components specializes in design consultation, engineering, production, and custom fabrication to meet your exact specification and needs. Using advanced composites such as carbon fiber, that is pretty advanced carbon fiber, Kevlar, fiberglass, Kenny's is dedicated to building high-quality composite products for all types of racing machines. Find them on the web at www.kennyscomponents.com. All right, now that the bills have been paid, let's get into what is going on here tonight with the JSRL Spike Chassis Sprint Car Series. It is the season finale. We have drawn a close to the 2017-2018 season, and we do have an official champion or unofficial champion. He still might get penalized. I'm voting for a penalty. Beau Breunig. We did the math. Nobody can catch him. Beau Breunig is your unofficial points champion. But after tonight, barring no severe penalties or points reductions, Beau Breunig will be your JSRL Spike Chassis champion. We've been watching Dan Holmes while I was talking about Beau. There's a good shot of Beau. Beau was the only driver this season that won on both dirt and asphalt. And I'll tell you what, he has been an exciting driver to watch on dirt. It's been great seeing him struggle essentially in his first few races on asphalt and then find his groove and be able to win on both dirt and asphalt. So congratulations to Beau Breunig. Alright, so our current qualifying order is Breunig is on pole with a 20.200, Dan Holmes with a 20.282, Bill Guess with a 20.356, and Ron Quinzel with a 20.741. We still have several drivers who haven't taken a lap time yet. Jason Brown, Dan Smith, Jim Vig, and Kerry Morris haven't taken a lap time yet. But I would be watching for Dan Smith to do a lap time and put it up on the top slot here on the score sheets. Dan Smith knows this track, is able to get around it very well. Jason Brown rolling out right now. Brown, the league admin / owner of this deal, JSRL Spike Chassis. He also has J Skins there on the side of his car, does custom skins. Yeah, I had a chance to look him up. J Skins does a great job artistically. Jason Brown is going to slot into the top spot with a 20.197. The order of tonight's events is we are doing single car qualifying as everyone is out on the track, turning laps individually. Here we're watching Jim Vig. Jim Vig, one of the drivers that we're going to keep an eye on tonight. As we said earlier, Beau Breunig is our race season champion. But second through fourth place could pretty much be decided by how they finish. Jim Vig, Jason Brown, and Dan Holmes all in a super tight battle for second through fourth place. So how these drivers finish could very well determine where their position ends up in the points championship. Now the heavy hitter, Dan Smith, out on the track, gonna lay down a lap, show us how it's done. Jason Brown with a 20.197. Dan Smith showing, hey, I can throw this thing sideways and get it done just as fast. So Smith gathers himself back up, wipes out his drawers. Gonna try this one more time. See if he can lay down a great lap here. We are under a time qualifying session. We won't be here for the full hour. But once everybody's turned to lap time, the session will be advanced. Dan Smith bringing it down through 3 and 4 now. Across the line he goes. And that is going to put him in the pole. The only car in the 19-second lap bracket. And he's shutting it down. A 19.948. Getting it done here. Dan Smith. Last time we were here, Dan Smith dominated at IRP. Put a spanking on the field. And showing everyone here why he is so good. Turning a 19.948. Good enough for pole position. Kerry Morris so far has not turned a lap or reported to the track so far. And it looks like nobody else is on track right now. So we are just going to take a scenic view around Lucas Oil Raceway Park. So once again, it's going to be qualifying. Straight from qualifying into 100 laps here at IRP. I'm sorry. This is always going to be IRP. I know Lucas Oil probably dropped a fat wad of cash to have the track named after them. But there's just something about this place that is always going to be Indianapolis Raceway Park to me. So, I'm sorry, Lucas Oil. I may not always call it Lucas Oil Raceway. That's just the way it is. You're just going to have to accept it. Plus, I got my bottle of Fireball. And I got my cup of Jameson and Dr. Pepper. That's my Fireball you hear shaking there. And as I'm shaking stuff, the session has been advanced. We are gridding 100 laps here at Lucas Oil Raceway, also known as IRP. This is going to be a great race, folks. We have 7 of the best pavement sprint car drivers out here tonight. I would count myself in this group as one of the best, but there is a reason why I'm in the broadcast booth. They said, hey, KR, you handle a microphone a lot better than the steering wheel. Why don't you just go ahead and do that for us? And I said, you know what, guys? I won't beat you every week. I'll just talk about you every week. And so that's what I do. And if you believe that, I also have some oceanfront property in Arizona that I'd like to sell you. Alright, so cars are grinning up now. Dan Smith is going to be on pole. Dan Smith, Dirty Hillbilly Gorilla, does a lot of work with a lot of real sprint car teams. Man, I wish I could remember the name of the team. Just did a stint at the Chili Bowl with a team. Oh, and it's slipping my name. I can't remember it, and it's ticking me off. Anyways, Dan Smith is on your pole. Followed by Jason Brown in the 12 machine. Beau Breunig, your series champion, running the Channel Lock 50. Going to start second row inside. Dan Holmes right behind him. Again, Dan Holmes and Jim Vig and Jason Brown all in a battle to settle who finishes where in the points. And it's going to come down to how they finish this race will determine second, third, and fourth. Ron Quinzel in the 46 machine. And then hanging out in the back, Mr. Bill Guess, running a Dave Steele paint scheme throwback. So that's your running order, your starting lineup. But it's all in the hands of the pace car right now, but the lights are out on the pace car. And what that means is Dan Smith, when that pace car pulls into the pits here in a moment, will have control of the field. Is going to bring them down for the restart. 100 laps. Man, guys, I'm excited for this. And here we go. They're coming out of turn 4.
Green, green, green.
Green flag in the air. Dan Smith on the loud pedal. In trouble early. Spun the tires on the start. Jason Brown going to get the jump on Dan Smith. Did not see that coming. But Dan challenging back on the outside. Not going to let Jason Brown get away from him. A rare mistake by Dan Smith here on the start of the race. Spun the tires about flag stand. Got into the wall. Had to check up. Jason Brown doing a great job of capitalizing on it. Gonna have that clean air, but Dan Smith will wear out that back bumper on Jason Brown. Jason just needs to focus right now. Getting that car around this track cleanly, smoothly. And give a run here down the back stretch. Dan getting off the corner. Great. Gonna clear Jason by the time he gets into turn 3. And put Dan Smith back in the front. Alright, so we do have a did not start Kerry Morris. Unable to answer the call of the bell. Other than that, we currently have 7 cars on track. Ron Quinzel bringing it up in the rear here. Bill Guess charging from the back, already passed several cars, sitting in 4th. Now he's challenged Beau Breunig. Beau is in 5th. Bill's sitting in front of him. But Jason Brown, like I said, currently in 2nd. Points as they sit right now, that'll put Jason Brown 2nd in points behind Beau Breunig. Jim Viggs sitting 3rd. Jim has got to find a way around Jason Brown if he wants to settle the score with him. Finishing 3rd tonight is not on his agenda. He wants everything he can get. Bill Guess sitting in 4th. Beau Breunig right behind him. Beau's out here on a freebie. As long as his car passes tech and no excessive point loss, like I said, he is your points champion. So big congratulations to him. Great congratulations to everyone in the season. Great season is what I wanted to say. Congratulations to everyone so far. Dan Holmes, my buddy, my fellow broadcaster, he's joined me in the booth for a broadcast before. I thoroughly enjoyed him in the booth. He's biding his time, waiting for Beau Breunig and Bill Guess to make a mistake. No, I didn't say steak, although I am hungry for a steak. Wintertime, man, grilling gets a little cold to grill today. It was like single digits. I didn't need a steak that bad. I might wait till it gets in the teens before I fire up my grill. Breunig to the inside. Holmes passing him down the backstretch. You do have to watch it coming out of turn 2 here at IRP. It will throw you sideways. Breunig there once again. Getting a little squirrely on corner exit. cost him a lot of time. Ron Quinzel now looking to pounce on him. Breunig might have hustled that car a little bit too much here in the early stages. Got those tire temps elevated, the air pressure elevated. When he goes to put the throttle down, it just isn't responding the way that he wants. Talking about responding the way that you want, though, Dan Smith has got a 1.5 second lead over Jason Brown. Jason Brown and Dan Smith are teammates. They work together to develop these setups here. And man, does Dan Smith have this track figured out? Does he have the car underneath him or what? Doing a great job pulling away now 1.7 seconds. As we ride on board with him. Get a feel for this car here. Man, this thing is a beast. It's a handful to drive. Get right up next to the wall. Dan doing a little bit of a different line. Dropping down a little bit low, letting it drift up high. Kind of diamonding the corners off. Gets a great run down the straightaway. My only concern is what's it doing to the right front tire, letting it slide like that up to the top side of the track with that low entry. Don't know if he's going to burn it off or if he's going to be able to do this for all 100 laps. Gets into the wall a little bit there, but able to pull it back down and off. So far, Dan Smith's best lap time of a 20.076. His last lap time of a 20.244, now 20.280. So he's doing a little bit slower here. As the race wears on, the tires will wear out, the fuel will get lighter. The fuel load burns off, the balance of the car really changes, and you no longer have all that weight on the back tires like you would. And you have to do a lot more throttle control. Even though the car is lighter, you still have the same amount of horsepower, and it becomes way more difficult to put the power down when you don't have those several hundred pounds of fuel when you start this 100-lap event. So as the fuel load burns off, this car gets squirrelier, gets a little tougher to handle. And then you throw in the fact that the tires are worn out. They're maybe the temperatures in them is a little bit higher than you'd like. The air pressure has gone up several pounds. Everything is different from the start of this race to even 20 laps in. And then we still have to go to lap 100. We've got... hold on, I got my shoes on. We're on lap 22 of 100, getting ready to start lap 23. Meanwhile, Jason Brown solidly in second place. Jim Vig sitting right behind him. Like I said, the points championship decided between second, third, and fourth by how they finish. Jason Brown looks to be settled in for second spot. Jim Vig for third. Dan Holmes challenging Bill Guess, Beau Breunig there. 3 cars, 4 cars, throw a blanket. All 4 of them will fit in it. Great battle here for a spot in fourth place. Bill Guess a little squirrely coming off of turn 4. But a great battle we got going on here. Down the back front. Where? Wow, backstretch. Good job, KR. Do you even know where you're at? You want to order a moon pie and an RC Cola while you're at it? Beau Breunig looking underneath Dan Holmes. Dan shutting the door on him just a little bit. Breunig now going to try the high side. Dan going down underneath Bill Guest, sliding up into him just a little bit. No contact, all three wide. Straighten it out. Beau Breunig still on the bottom. Now Bill Guest challenging back, getting a run there. Gonna clear Beau Breunig. Breunig still got a nose down to the bottom side there, getting a good run off the corner here. Dan Holmes pulling away now. His next target is Jim Vig. Holmes with some clean air might be able to chase down Vig. Breunig able to get around Bill Guest here. Mr. Guest in the 19 machine. Losing 2 spots here in the last few laps. Ron Quinzel now looking to attack Bill Guest. Senses a little bit of weakness. There's some blood in the water. Possibly Bill Guest has overheated his tires as you see him coming off the corner there sideways. Laps are winding down here. We've completed 30. We've completed 30. We're on lap 31. Holy smokes. I am tongue twisted like crazy. We're on lap 32 now. Dan Smith started lap 32. Everyone now on lap 32. Ron Quinzel challenging Bill Guest here for 6th spot. Looking down to the inside. We go on board with Ron Quinzel as he tries once again to pull it down low. Getting a good run down the backstretch. Might clear him here going into 3 and 4. Side by side coming off of turn 4. At the line looked like Bill Guest. But Ron Quinzel with a heck of a run coming out of turn 2. Once again going to try the same line. Unable to duplicate it. Tucks in behind Bill Guest. Back up front though. This race is all about Dan Smith right now. 7-second lead over Jason Brown. And Dan has no sign whatsoever of slowing up, of slowing down. He is out for blood. He's not just content to win this race. He wants to put it to everybody and say, I am the best here at IRP. And I'll tell you what, he is one of the best at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. Getting it done here. Dan Smith started on pole, led almost every lap, minus the little mishap he had on the start where he spun his tires, but he chased Jason Brown, got back around him, has made up for his mistake. Now he's got a 7-second lead, almost 8 seconds now over Jason Brown. And Jason Brown dropping into the clutches of Jim Vig here and Dan Holmes. Dan Holmes is caught up to Jim Vig. So as this race is wearing on without a caution, everyone, their tires are burning up. Some drivers may have pushed the limits of their car a little early to try and get some track position advantage. But Jim Vig and Jason Brown and Dan Holmes all right here in a good little battle as Jim Vig does a little peek down to the inside. A little early, but he's just letting Jason Brown know he's there. Vig down to the bottom once again, trying to get a run off the corner. Now he's to the inside for sure. Definitely going to pull alongside of him in the middle of the corner, but loses some speed on corner exit. Jason Brown doing a great job getting that momentum running from the high side. Dan Holmes sitting back watching all of this go on. Meanwhile, Dan Holmes has a little bit of pressure from Beau Breunig. Beau Breunig sitting right there, looking to his outside. Oh, so close. Breunig backing out of it right there. Smart move. These four guys all going after it. Jim Vig doing a great job on the bottom. It's so difficult to get your car off the bottom of this corners here and carry any sort of speed. Jim Vig doing a great job of it. Jason Brown at the moment has got a little bit of a gap now over Vig. Vig has got to be watching his six though, as Dan Holmes all over his back bumper. Dan Holmes though has got to worry about Beau Breunig, so these four drivers, not a single one is in the clear yet. Great shot as they come down the front stretch. Holmes looking to the outside. Vig shutting the door on him. Breunig thinking about maybe a bump and run on Holmes. Holmes looking to the inside of Vig now. Got the run. Can he make it stick? I don't think so. Not down the backstretch. Once again through 3 and 4. Down low. Got his nose out just a hair. Plucked that nose hair. Dan Holmes. Dan across the line first that time, but not quite cleared. Now he's got him cleared. Vig and Breunig in contact. Breunig able to sort it out, keep it going. We're going to go to a replay of that one. We'll ride on board with Beau Breunig, your points champion for this season. Gets down underneath Vig. Vig tries to tuck down underneath Holmes. A little bit of sideways action. No harm, no foul there. I don't think any ill intent. Back to live we go. Now Breunig has his work cut out for him. Bill Guess has dropped way off the pace, sitting in 7th. And the battle for second has continued to get intense and has not let up at all. Jim Vig there in the 3rd spot. Ron Quinzel in the 4th car on your screen. 2nd car is Dan Holmes. The 1st car you're seeing is Jason Brown. Now Holmes getting a good run in the middle of the corner. Down the backstretch they go. Holmes is there. Diving to the inside through 3 and 4. Sliding up just a little bit. Might be able to clear Brown through the front stretch, and he does. Put Holmes in 2nd place for this race. Score him 2nd place in the championship as well. That is not an official though. We still have 47. Look, we got some laps to go still. We're 53 laps into this 100 lapper race. But Dan Holmes is now sitting in 2nd. Jason Brown 3rd. Jim Vig 4th. Jason Brown losing some more ground now. Jim Vig putting the pressure to him. Ron Quinzel there as well. We've gone 54, now 55 laps, all green flag. And I'll tell you what, man, this has been an exciting, exciting race for a season finale. These guys through 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th all want their little piece of fame. They all want to be on the podium, maybe get close to a trophy girl and do some sort of inappropriate kissing. Some shoulder touching might be involved. Jim Vig looking now for a third spot. Gonna try and wrestle it away from Jason Brown. Gets a good run on him here in the middle of the corner. Down alongside the backstretch he goes. Trying to get the same run through 3 and 4 they got in 1 and 2. Jason Brown has been solid on that outside lane though. Fights back. Just can't get it done this time. Vig gonna have to remount his charge. Beau Breunig, while this battle has been going on, Breunig slowly sneaking back into the picture here. Ron Quinzel there as well. 4 cars yet again battling. So we go on board with Jim Vig. You see Jason Brown there on his right side. Tucks in down the front stretch across the start-finish line. Now looking to the inside. The inside of this track is not as banked as the outside. That is allowing Jason Brown to get a good run down the straightaways. A good corner exit. Jim Vig doing all he can to run that bottom. But again, you know, with each lap, that high side gets a little bit more worn, a little bit hotter, a little bit slicker. This bottom lane is going to start coming in, and Jim Vig doing a great job of it now. Alongside he goes. Now Beau Breunig has something to say about it. Breunig snuck by Quinzel there while we were on board with Vig. Vig is going to clear Jason Brown this time. Breunig going to try and go through that open door as well. Jason Brown in a lot of trouble here. I'm also in trouble. My voice was scratching there. I haven't fully recovered from my illness that I was going through last week. My voice sounds okay, but it's still not as strong as it should be. So I apologize for any coughing outbursts that you might hear. I try to mute them, but if I miss one, I apologize. So slot Vig into third. Dan Holmes second. Beau Breunig now into fourth. Jason Brown gonna be your final spot in the top 5. But looks like Ron Quinzel is gonna say, hey man, that top 5 spot's looking pretty nice. I might want a piece of that. Quinzel not going to let Jason Brown get any rest. Quinzel can feel the weakness that Jason Brown has right now. Brown has gone from second place now to 5th. Quinzel going to do all he can to get by him, sensing that Brown's car is fading. Brown a little wiggle there on the front stretch. Looked like he might have touched the wall just a hair. Didn't cost him anything though. Do you guys know that Dan Smith has a 14.5 second lead over Dan Holmes? And he has come around. He has already put Bill Guest 1 lap down. Bill Guest definitely struggling here. His car for sure not set up for this long green flag run. We're on lap 67 of 100. Bill Guest was fast early but is faded here as the laps have continued to go without a caution. But Dan Smith just might lap this field. And he's closing in on Ron Quinzel and Jason Brown. Dan Smith started first, currently first, his fastest lap of a 20.076, his last lap of a 20.526. So he's lost about a half a second over almost 70 laps. That is very, very consistent lap times. May not seem like it, but 70 laps here at IRP and only to lose a half a second. Now he slides under Ron Quinzel with ease. Ron not going to challenge him. Jason Brown, however, teammates might see a little bit of shenanigans here. Well, maybe if I was the teammate out there, you might see some shenanigans, but Jason Brown going to let the leader by cleanly not going to challenge the issue here. I got to teach these guys what shenanigans are. So, only 4 cars on the lead lap. Now, Dan Smith has managed to put Jason Brown, Ron Quinzel, and William Guess a lap down. So, second spot here, Dan Holmes 14.7 seconds behind. Dan Holmes started 5th, currently 2nd, doing a great job. He wants that 2nd place in this race, 2nd place in the championship. And I'll tell you what, he has fought hard. Well-deserved 2nd place if he can pull it off tonight. 20.227 his fastest lap. Last lap of a 20.770. Again, about a half a second between the fastest lap and his current lap. As you can see, that's probably why he's now in 2nd spot. As we go through here, we can look at Beau Breunig in 3rd. Beau Breunig again, once again, half a second between his fastest lap and his last lap. So like I said, the tire wear, the fuel burn off, these cars will get slower as the race wears on, but it is not a matter of who loses. You know what? It's all about who loses the least amount of speed over this long haul. Case in point is Will Guess. He's lost a lot of speed here. His fastest lap of a 20.323. Last lap of a 21.645. Good example of what can happen when you burn your stuff up early. Or possibly he just maybe misjudged how this race was going to go. We've done 76 green flag laps. That's tough to predict, you know, so maybe he set up for a short run thinking that's what we would have. This car was great in the short run. Unfortunately, the race has not played out to his strategy tonight. Jason Brown, as we saw, he started on the front row, ran in the lead when Dan Smith made his mistake, spun his tire on the start, led a few laps, 2 laps there. He's currently running 5th, and he's about 1 second from his fastest lap to his last lap. So you can see the gap between the fastest lap that each driver has run and the last lap that they've run. And the longer that gap is, the further back they have come, or fallen, I should say. And you just get a good idea of exactly how difficult these cars are. You do everything you can to maintain the long run. As we're on lap 80 of 100, about 20 laps to go now. Dan Holmes, 15 seconds, almost 16 seconds, now 16.15 seconds behind Dan Smith. Beau Breunig sitting in 3rd, doing all he can to catch Dan Holmes, about 3 seconds behind him. Jim Vig pulling into the pits here. Don't know what's happened to Vig, but Vig was running 4th. And Dan Smith in trouble as well. I think we missed something. There we go. Dan Smith trying to lap Jim Vig. Gets around him. Don't know what happened here, hoping to catch it. Big shakeup here, no yellow. As we go into replay. Guess we're not gonna see it. These guys are out live right now, out on the track, so we totally missed it. No idea what happened. I wish I knew what happened. Oh, I can't believe I missed what happened. So your new leader is Dan Holmes. Ron Quinzel is second. Dan Smith third. William Guess is fourth. Jim Vig fifth. Beau Breunig sixth. Jason Brown seventh. Oh, you know what? Everyone's having to make pit stops. Nobody's crashed. They're just making pit stops. Holy cow. This race has gone nuts. Oh, I'm losing my mind. Pit stops in a sprint car race. It's happened here and I didn't even know it. Oh, I missed it. Jason Brown now pulling off of pit road. He's gone a lap down with his pit stop. I currently have Dan Smith scored in third spot, Ron Quinzel second, Dan Holmes first. Dan Holmes now pulling in. He's making a pit stop. Lap 86 of 100. These guys may have been running out of fuel. It could have been a fuel race. Holy cow. What a turn of events this has been. Iowa, this is unexpected for me. No idea this was going to come about. Your race leader now is Ron Quinzel in the 46 machine, but Dan Smith sitting in second, 3.5 seconds behind him. As Dan Holmes pulls back out on the track. Wow. Alright, so that took some figuring out. Really some confusion on my part. 86 laps, 88 lap, 89 laps now completed. Ron Quinzel with an 8.9 second lead over Dan Holmes. Is Ron going to be able to hold out and just manage to work enough of the throttle, conserve enough fuel to win this thing in what would be an upset fuel mileage race? Oh my goodness, Dan Smith challenged like he was checked out. And now Ron Quinzel pulling in, so that is going to do it for Quinzel. He definitely went the furthest on fuel. But that's going to give the lead back to Dan Smith. And Dan back out in front once again, and the scoring is going to have to update here. Beau Breunig is 1 lap down. First car 1 lap down. Breunig currently scored in 6th. Bill Guest there in front of the leader. Bill Guest scored in 5th place, running that bottom line. Bill might be trying to make it on fuel, but it looks like he's lost too much time to do so. So Bill is currently 6th, 1 lap down. Beau Breunig still the first car 1 lap down. Dan Holmes now 16 seconds behind Dan Smith. Holy cow, Breunig challenging now, getting that lap back. He might be the points champion, but he is not going to take the disrespect of finishing 1 lap down. Put Breunig on the lead lap with a power move. He wants that lap back. He is not satisfied finishing 1 lap down. Dan Smith going to let him have it as he has a 16-second lead. Why challenge a guy with 5 laps to go? Let him have his lap back. Good thinking there, Dan. Dan Smith, your leader. Dan Holmes sitting in second. Once again, Dan Holmes, Jason Brown, Jim Vig. Second, third, and fourth in your points championship. As they finish will be how they finish in the points. Beau Breunig, your points champion. No matter what happens tonight, unless I can convince race control that he was cheating and needs a severe points reduction. So far, all my efforts have been in vain. Beau Breunig doing a great job. Ran a great season. Well-deserved points champion. Checking in on Jim Vig here in third. Jim Vig doing a great job. Started fourth, currently third. 3 laps to go here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park. This race is winding down. We have gone, every single lap has been green flag. Every single lap. Dan Smith has led 86 of them. Nobody near him. He could put it into neutral and just about coast the way around the track. With 2 laps to go now. Dan Smith gonna bring it home here, barring a severe mistake, accident. This race has gone all his way. And if it wasn't for my mishap and missing everyone stopping for pits, stopping for fuel, white flag in the air, Dan Smith, the recipient, the first one to get it. Down the backstretch he goes one final time, through 3 and 4, the final time. The season finale for the J Skins Racing League Spike Chassis Sprint Car Series. Your race winner, Dan Smith, brings it home, led 89 laps tonight. Your race winner was Dan Smith. And I'll tell you what, second place was Dan Holmes, and a great job by Dan. Managed to work his way through the field. Third place, Beau Breunig, your points champion. And we are able to talk to all 3 now, but we have got to start with Dan Smith, the race winner for tonight. Mr. Smith, you got your ears on?
Yep, we got you, KR.
Oh man, you led 89 laps. The most important one was the last one. Heck of a performance out here at IRP. Give us a little bit of rundown of your race here, as all 3 drivers reporting to the front stretch. I love it. Stay there, guys.
Well, the start of the race, yeah, I kind of threw it out the right side and run over it, man. But we recovered from that, and you know, late in the race, I kept watching fuel, and I knew I was about 10 to 12 laps shy on fuel, somewhere in that neighborhood. And we just kept going at it, man. And I just wanted to put as much time between everybody as I could and lap as many cars as I could, knowing that I wasn't going to take tires and I was just going to take fuel when I had to stop, man.
Now, when you made pit stops, it caught me off guard because I just was so into the race. All of a sudden, you weren't in the lead anymore. I lost complete track of it. You and Jim Vig pitted. I thought maybe you guys had crashed.
You know, I seen everybody laying back, and I watched that gap just widen and widen and widen. And I just, you know, I knew what everybody was doing. I knew everybody was lifting early, picking up late, you know, and trying to conserve fuel. So I just thought, you know, piss on it. I don't know how to drive that way, man. So we'll just hammer down and let the chips fall where they may.
Well, once again, they fell in your favor here at Lucas Oil Raceway Park, or as I like to call it, IRP. Another dominating performance by you. Man, what a great race.
It was an awesome race, man. Awesome race. I wasn't sure how that those pit stops was going to cycle through, or who stopped and who didn't stop. But congratulations to teammate Beau Breunig on winning the championship this season. He got it done on dirt, and he's learned a bunch on pavement. Matter of fact, he picked up the win at Iowa last week. Another shout out to Jason Brown, my other teammate, man, and Mr. JSRL. Jason, thanks for everything, man. The league, all the work that you do, testing these cars, setup-wise, things like that. You rock, man. RE suspension and shocks, St. Pierce Chevrolet, and then the JSRL sponsors, Spike Chassis, Double Clutch, St. Pierce Chevrolet, Kenny's Components, and Hooters Tires Midwest. KR, thanks for doing what you're doing, man. Win number 6 on the season, brother.
I'll tell you what, Dan, it makes me sad that you didn't participate in the dirt, because you might have been the points champion with the dominating performances you put down on the asphalt.
I knew going into the season when we were running the mixed schedule that I probably would not be running the dirt side of the schedule. And, you know, and I believe I said it there at the beginning, KR, that this season was all about wins. That's all it was about. And we managed to win 6 out of the 8 races that we ran on the pavement this season. So can't really ask for a whole lot more than that, man.
Definitely, for sure, one of the best guys on the asphalt here in the J Skins Racing League. Congratulations on your win tonight. But what a great job in mentioning all your sponsors. I didn't have to ask for them.
There you go, man. Lots of practice. But I do want to give a huge shout out to Beau Breunig, man. He has improved so much on the pavement, done what he had to do to wrap this championship up, man, and so proud of what he's been able to accomplish on the pavement side.
Yeah, and we'll get to Beau Breunig, but Dan, I'll tell you what, I'm going to move on now unless there's anything else you'd like to say.
Get it, mofos!
There it is, the Dirty Hillbilly Gorilla. Thank you very much for giving us that interview, and we're going to move on now to our second place finisher, Mr. Dan Holmes. Dan, are you there?
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, sir. How about you? Finishing second. You started fifth. You had a little bit of a challenge to get into second, but that's where you finished. Give us a little bit of rundown of your race.
You know, in practice and qualifying, I didn't think I really had anything, but I knew it was consistent. But I didn't know how long it was going to be consistent, and it was pretty consistent through the whole race, and it surprised me. This thing was a rocket ship. I had the track figured out. I had the car figured out. That was fun.
You look good for sure as you were working your way through the field, and you took your time to do it. You weren't in a hurry.
Yeah, it was a little tough getting through the field, but it was pretty fun marching my way up through there. It was hard, but I got there.
Yeah, you got there, man, and it looked like you didn't put a foot wrong all race. Never hustled the car, so great job.
Yeah, thanks. And I don't even know what to say. It takes to the end of the season to figure these cars out, and I finally get a good run going, and Dan Smith runs away. That guy needs a life or something, because he was astronomical fast. That was ridiculous.
Dan Smith is one of the better ones here on the asphalt side of things, but, you know, no shame in finishing second here at IRP. But I'll tell you what, as far as I know, you're finishing second in the points.
Well, hot damn.
Finishing second in the points has got to be an accomplishment. Beau Breunig, our points champion, coming into tonight. But the way I heard it, the way that second, third, and fourth in the points finished between you, Jim Vig, and Jason Brown was going to be the determination for the championship. And you finished second tonight. So as far as I know, you are second in the championship for the J Skins Racing League. So congratulations there.
Yay, maybe I'll get a hat or something. I don't know. That's pretty cool. I would have never thought about that in the beginning of the season. I wasn't even sure if I could run the whole season, but that's pretty cool. I like it.
Well, congratulations on second place in tonight's race, second place in the points. But we're going to move on now to our points champion, our third place finisher tonight, Mr. Beau Breunig. Mr. Beau, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Breunig, I'll tell you what. You had an up and down race here. You did a great job throughout the season. The only driver to win on dirt and asphalt or pavement, whatever you want to call it. The hard stuff that you use to get to a dirt track. You won on both surfaces. The points championship. Third place tonight. How else can I explain what an accomplishment you have?
Oh, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I did get one win on pavement. That's pretty awesome. I know when I started running, the goal was to win the dirt, because I knew I could win the dirt races, but I wasn't sure how we'd do on pavement. If it wasn't for Dan and Jason's help, I probably wouldn't be talking to you about the championship, but they helped me out enough, and I think we got the win at Iowa, and I think after Phoenix, I don't think I finished off the podium at the pavement, so yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Well, congratulations. I have been petitioning to Race Control that you are not the points championship, that somehow it should go to me, but they keep ignoring me. I'm not sure why.
You know what? When you figure it out, you let me know, all right?
But man, I'll tell you what, let's talk about your race here. Like I said, it was a little bit of up and down. You had a scare there with Jim Vig. Jim tried to go underneath the car while you were underneath him, and you managed to keep it going, and just give us a little bit of rundown of your race here.
Well, the start of the race was real hairy. I started right behind Dan, and I don't think I had anything for him, but I think we were good enough to run second. But when he got into the wall, I got off the gas, and I got kind of trapped and lost 2-3 spots, and then just trying to fight my way back up. And it just seemed like everywhere I went, I made the wrong decision. I'd go low, car in front of me would go low. I'd go high, car in front of me would go high.
Man, it was exciting.
It was a lot of fun. And then with Jim, I got a good run on him, and I just was trying to get by those guys because I thought I could put some distance between them. But we just really made a little contact, got a little sideways. But the car was really good, so we fought right back, and I got him at the end. So I guess I got the last lap, getting third from him right there on the last lap.
Well, like I said, congratulations. Third place, final spot on the podium for tonight. But big picture, overall, J Skins Racing League Spike Chassis Sprint Car Series points champion, Beau Breunig. How does that feel?
It feels pretty awesome. I thank Jason for putting the series on, and Spike and everybody. It was a lot of fun. Pretty cool to be the last champion. I think it's pretty awesome. And I got to talk to Jason about it, but he doesn't know what I'm about to say. But maybe we'll get JSRL and Spike back together and bring SimPro Racing in and do a Chili Bowl next January. So he's probably going, "Oh, what the heck's he talking about?" Well, we'll see. Maybe we can put together a big event and bring together some really good dirt racers in the midget and put them under one roof.
Well, as long as you call me to be the broadcaster, I'm all for it.
You're hired.
Oh, done. Let's do it. All right, Mr. Breunig, Mr. Points Champion. Congratulations all around. Go celebrate. Have a good time. And thank you very much for talking with us.
Oh, thank you guys. It was a pleasure, and thanks for everything you guys did all season with the broadcast. Really appreciate it. Thank you guys.
Well, you're welcome. It was Beau Breunig, our points champion. But now I have league admin, league owner, Mr. Jason Brown in here with me. And we're going to have some final thoughts on the season with me and Jason. And I'll tell you, it's been quite the interesting season. And what a points shakedown we had here tonight. Second, third, and fourth, all determined by how they finished in the final race. Man, Jason, you can't ask for a whole lot more drama than that.
No, you got that right. It was, went right down to the wire. It was all season long. There was a lot of good racing. Very classy group of drivers, and was happy for Beau for tying up the championship.
So going forward here, Dan Holmes second, Jim Vig third in the points, you fourth in the points, but your race didn't quite go as well as you'd hoped. You finished seventh. It looked like your car was definitely fast in the beginning, but who could have seen 100 laps of green flag racing?
100 laps is a long time in any car, and in the sprint car, it's even more so. So it's long, it's grueling, and in the end, the Dan, nobody could touch him. He was class of the field. He usually is. This is his sandbox, I guess you could call it. So nobody knows it better than he does.
He does get around here quite well. So going forward here with the J Skins Racing League, what can we expect? When's the next time we'll see this league out on the track? As I struggle to find words.
It must be contagious. Well, where we stand right now, we've got Camptown races coming up in March. It's the first Monday in March. We'll get the calendar right now. That would be March the 5th. It's basically 2-lap sprint around the 2.5-mile Pocono Raceway. And the sprint cars that we saw tonight here at IRP, and we line up somewhere between 4 and 6 wide on the front stretch and have at it for 2 laps. And we'll go kind of like round robin tournament till one guy's left, and that's your champion. After that, we're looking at doing the James Spear Memorial. Which car and venue is to be determined. It's not set in stone, but there's a good chance it'll end up being either a 360 or 410 wing sprint car at Lanier. That's happening in July. There'll be a few other special events scattered throughout the summertime, and then we'll be back with the Spike Chassis Series in September or October.
All right. Well, as long as I get to broadcast them, like I said to Beau, man, I'm all for it if I'm hired as your broadcaster.
I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Well, thanks for the vote of confidence. Yeah, I do try hard to get fired, but I do appreciate the fact that I was able to broadcast the season, and I look forward to many more to come.
For sure, and I want to congratulate the top 3 in the Spike Chassis Series here tonight. Beau, Dan, and Jim. They're all getting Kenny's Components T-shirts. Thanks to Kenny's Components and the crew down there. Our winners this season are going to be getting feature winner stickers from Hoosier Tire Midwest. That'll be... Actually, the guys made it pretty easy on me with shipping out stickers this season. You had Dan Smith, Beau Breunig, and Jeffrey Stanton were your winners this season, so they'll be getting some feature winner stickers courtesy Hoosier Tire Midwest. And I want to thank all our other supporters, Sam Pierce Chevrolet, Double Clutch, and J-Skins Racing Graphics.
All right. So thank you very much for your time, Mr. Brown. I appreciate you coming into the booth and talking a little bit about the league and the season in review and what's coming up next.
Yeah, I want to thank you, J-Skins Media Solutions, guys over at Grip TV that covered us earlier in the season, and all our fans out in the digital world that tuned in to watch our races.
All right, that was Jason Brown, and we're going to move on now into the results. Showing the final results here, Dan Smith, your race winner, led the most laps, started on pole, got it done. Man, what a beatdown he put on the field. Dan Holmes putting it in second in the race, second in points. Beau Breunig third, but your points champion overall. Jim Vig fourth, going to finish third in points. This is going to get tricky. Ron Quinzel in fifth. William Guest sixth. Jason Brown fourth in points. Seventh on tonight. And Kerry Morris and Richard Osborne turned 0 laps here tonight. Got to show up, but did not turn any laps. So that was your 7 drivers here tonight. What a great race we had. 100 green flag laps. And that was a crazy, crazy race from start to finish. So thank you very much for joining me. My name is KR Stolfus. Thank you oh so much. We here at J-Skins Media Solutions appreciate each and every one of you. Hope you all enjoyed the show. I know I had a great time doing it. Until next time, bye.